All America, this is it. The inauguration day of Donald J. Trump, 47th president. Second inauguration of Donald J. Trump, whether you like him, don't like him, it is what it is. We are where we are at. Now, and I'm sure right now there's plenty of people who are watching the pre-inauguration coverage, and I have it actually on in the monitor there where people are arriving at the Capitol building. And I just saw that Trump and Biden were in the limo headed up Pennsylvania Avenue with Amy Klobuchar, I guess, as a buffer between the two of them, which is kind of interesting. I would love to be a fly in the wall of that, a fly on the window inside that limousine ride, the Beast ride to the Capitol with those two. But so yeah, Biden officially going to be out today and Trump officially in. Let's talk about a few things before. This will be a short episode. I just really want to discuss a couple things related to the inauguration and a couple of more criminal things that Biden has done before he officially gets out of office. Welcome to the Time to Talk podcast. We're going to talk inauguration of Donald J. Trump. We're going to talk about a few things regarding Biden, like I said, and a couple things with Snoop Dogg and Soulja Boy and some rappers and we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, let's start with the fact that Biden decides to actually, let me take that back, preemptively pardon Anthony Fauci, a bunch of others, but I want to focus on Fauci in particular because he's probably the most criminal out of all of them. And of course, we kind of saw this pardon coming, this preemptive pardon, this idea that he would make sure that that Fauci would not be brought up on charges as much as Fauci deserves to be brought up on charges for his entire handling of the COVID situation and his history. I mean, you can read JFK Jr.'s book, which whether you like JFK Jr. or not, you need to understand he's an educated guy who's fought for years for the American people and for different things and different causes to clean up America. So your perception of RFK Jr., if it's bad, is probably rooted in you watch too much CNN or you watch The View too much. So that's the only thing you know about him. But I highly recommend that you read The Real Anthony Fauci, the book written by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which details the history and legacy of Fauci, Anthony Fauci, his history with the AIDS epidemic, his connection to Big Pharma, and all of the criminal stuff that he has done. So there's that, and that book has not been dissected and debunked and, thought to be a hoax or, there's a bunch of lawsuits going on because everything he stated was not true. It's all true. And you can go ahead and read the book for yourself. But I digress. Getting back to this, Fauci, the criminal that he is, this preemptive pardon essentially says, because a pardon works like this, right? Typically, and I could be wrong here. Let me know in the comments, but a pardon, you've done something wrong, you've been accused of something, you've been jailed for something, or you have a criminal record of something, and it's expunged. Like you're pardoned. Not, I'm going to make it so that you can't be prosecuted. Because that's what this is. A preemptive pardon is simply saying Fauci hasn't been brought up on charges by Trump yet. They believe he would be, which, again, he should be, to reiterate. And Biden is making sure that he's somehow protected. Well, just in case they come after you for all the criminal shit you did, I'll just give you a pardon. Nonsense. Total nonsense. I hope the American people can see through this. I don't think you can. I think many of you can't. I don't think the people watching my channel, I think you guys can, but a lot of people out there just can't. Their sense of understanding what really goes on, like, AOC with all of her tweets and TikToks or whatever she's coming up with on X, all this stuff about, this authoritarian regime about to take place. Allow me for a moment to just give you the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of authoritarian: favoring or enforcing strict obedience to authority, especially that of the government, at the expense of personal freedom. Oh, so sort of like the Biden administration infiltrating all of the big tech companies, the social media platforms, dictating what they want to be told, what their narrative is going to be, shutting down free speech, violating your constitutional rights. That doesn't qualify as authoritarian? That doesn't qualify? So either you don't know what the word means, you don't understand its definition, or you don't know what your own rights are and how they're being violated, or have your nose so far up the ass of the Democrats and Kamala Harris and Biden and the whole, he's a cuddly little old man and she's a beautiful black woman who should, she's so qualified to be president. You're either too stupid, too ignorant to understand what authoritarian actually means, or you just had the wool pull over your eyes so well that you didn't realize it was happening to you already with the outgoing administration that you were so proudly in favor of democracy and free rights and free speech. So now Trump is coming in and you think he's going to do the same thing. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I say this, and I give this particular talk and this particular episode a lot of that wavering, in between skepticism, optimism, skepticism. What is Trump going to do? The energy of Trump. Trump has a rally, and he's got YMCA, the Village People. He's got his theme song, which I'm still kind of questioning how one of the gayest anthems of the early 1980s turned out to be the MAGA theme song. It's absolutely, again, nothing against the Village People, nothing against gay anthems and themes and whatever it is, whatever it stands for, like nothing against it. It just seems highly improbable that song would end up being the MAGA rally for Donald Trump. Anyway, so look, I've got optimism. This guy brings in good energy. He's an old man, but the energy, you can't deny the energy. And the talk, the rhetoric, the things he's been saying. Yeah, you're going to disagree with some of it from a policy standpoint. Perhaps it doesn't seem beneficial to you at the moment. But I mean, honestly, the immigration thing, how it's handled, whether he just starts kicking people out and putting babies I don't know. Yeah, it sounds, from the way he speaks, it sounds insensitive. It sounds cruel. I don't know what's going to happen. I do agree, though, that there's a whole lot of immigration. We have a lot of illegal immigrants here and criminals that are here that need to be rounded up and booted out. Period. We got to clean up our country. We've got to do that. So I've got optimism when it comes to that. I have optimism when it comes to him. Oh, we've got executive orders that are coming. He's going to free up the files on JFK, the assassination of JFK, his brother RFK Sr. We've got the MLK files and all these different things. Hopefully, Tupac and Biggie murder, we find out about that. And the Epstein files. Well, he might stop at the Epstein files. We'll see. But I'm optimistic about some of these things. Again, I'm optimistic about RFK Jr. coming in and cleaning up our agriculture, our food system, and all of the poisonous things that are killing us and causing obesity and disease at a rapid rate, and just causing the healthcare system, the collapse of the healthcare system, the way the healthcare system is built, and the criminality behind it all. I'm looking forward to that being cleaned up. I am looking forward to hopefully getting out of these forever wars. Right? I am a little more skeptical about that, only because, again, there is a larger machine, again, Mike Benz, the deep state, the blob behind the scenes that are controlling most of these particular things and these policies, especially when it comes to our policies abroad. And this forever war thing and the military industrial complex, that's all being run from behind the scenes. So it's not necessarily just the president making decisions. I think Trump steps into office this time with much more power, with much more sort of that, because of the populist support that he had and has at the moment and what got him in office again. I think that even the deep state and the blob, the Republicans around him, they all seem to be willing to move his direction a little bit. But I think it's in vain. I think a lot of it is just because, hey, well, this is what the America seems to want. It seems to be trending right now. So we'll give them the illusion that you're going to fix things. We'll give them the illusion that, they're going to feel good for the moment. Just like the TikTok ban came and went. I don't want to get too much of the TikTok ban, but, it was sort of like an orchestrated maneuver of like, yeah, the TikTok ban is going to get shut down. But Trump brought it back. So it looks really good. And I'm not saying he didn't have a part in it. I think, again, if you understand what the TikTok ban was about, it was about Israel. It was about Israel saying we don't want having the younger generation, so Gen Z or whatever, 30 people 30 and below, we don't want them seeing what Israel's doing to Palestine. We don't want that support. We don't want the sentiment that Israel is basically committing genocide. So we got to shut TikTok down. That's what the whole thing's about. It's not about China, communist China mining data. Facebook gives our data to China anyway. So that's not what this is about. So Trump having the sway on that, Trump having the credit for brokering the ceasefire deal in Gaza, right, between Israel and Palestine, that whole thing, it all looks good on paper up front. And it all seems to be giving him a lot of momentum going into his first 100 days. And I hope that he's able to sustain that peace deal. I don't think it's going to happen because, again, he's in the pocket of Israel, like everyone else is in Congress, except for maybe 33, 34 different congressmen. He is in the pocket of that. And this idea that we're going to get we're going to go to war with Iran. These are all things that the deep state and the blob want to have happen. And Trump, in the meantime, it's a good idea for them to allow him to play the role or look as if he's going to get us out of all this. I just don't think that's going to happen. But again, optimism, skepticism. I'm going to remain more optimistic. Let's take a a play out of Dave Chappelle's SNL, brilliant SNL monologue this past Saturday, where he looked Trump dead in the eye, looked right into the camera. I know you watched the show, and good luck. I'm wishing you luck. People voted for you. Like, people who hate you, like you, it doesn't make a difference. Be better. Do something better. That's what I'm looking forward to. All of these people who, I'm not watching the inauguration. Michelle Obama, I'm not going to the inauguration. I ain't going to dignify it. The country's going to get lost. Why? Why think like that? Why bother? You're simply just creating negative energy for yourself, negative energy for your country. You need to just embrace the fact the man is president again. He's got some good qualities, some bad qualities, and this whole thing about he's a criminal and a rapist and all these other things. I got news for you. Clinton was a rapist and a criminal. Bush was a criminal. Obama is a criminal, war criminal. Biden criminal on so many levels. If you want to go back in time, JFK was a criminal and a philandering. Martin Luther King Jr. on this day. MLK Day. I hate to say, I'm not being disrespectful. Shout out to Martin Luther King Jr. This is his day. He was a philandering. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of this all and claim that this guy that's in office now is about to take office, Trump, is this horrible, misogynistic, racist, rapist guy, like whatever, I implore you to study your history, because the only difference is they came after this guy and exposed all of his stuff because they didn't want him anywhere near the White House because he was an outsider. All these other people kind of just slid in under the whole, two-party system, and you picked one or the other and they looked good on paper, but you didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. Sometimes we knew what was going on because we found out, like in the Clinton scandal where he was skeeting all over curtains and sheets and dresses. So is what it is. I digress. I don't want to go too far into that, but I have more optimism. And I'm trying to remain positive about this Trump administration. Let's keep an eye on it. Like I always say, I've said it before. I said it before the election. Our job now as citizens is to task our government with upholding our values and doing what they're supposed to do. Let's hope that this whole thing with free speech, let's hope that Elon and this whole oligarchy kind of thing that's happening here with these billionaire and these tech people just all like consolidating their power. Let's hope that things remain on this drive of let's bring freedom back. Let's allow for free speech. Let's not shut people down for this woke ideal sort of thing of, we can't say this, we can't say that on this platform, or you'll be suppressed, demonetized. Let's just hope that he does the right thing. If he starts to lock people up and all my brothers and sisters find ourselves in chains again, then I guess revolution is going to come, right? I hear you. If this policy is from the tariff standpoint, an economic standpoint, all the different things he wants to implement and tax, like reform, however he does it, if it affects our pocket, if it makes our lives worse, then we got to hold him to a task. If it makes our life better, hopefully that's the case. That's all I got to say about the inauguration. I'm going to go back to the coverage of it. I'm going to watch it. I will get back and I'll do a follow-up when the inauguration's finished to see what happens. The inauguration's happening now as I speak. It's 11:06, so history is about to be made again, 12 o'clock. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching the inauguration, if you're one of the people who's banning the inauguration. I don't think you are, but let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the rapper situation, about Snoop Dogg. Are you changing your mind about Snoop, that he'd lose credibility? I don't know. I don't think so. What do you think about the Village People song? Am I the only one calling that out? I just think it's really interesting. What do you think about the Biden pardon of Anthony Fauci? What do you think about that? Let me know. All right. Subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Now is the time. Hit the notification bell so you know when I put up new content. I truly appreciate that we grow the channel here. I do it for you. Hit that like button on the way out. Do not forget to do that. That's very important to the algorithm and all the magic behind the scenes that make the channel grow. I will see you on the next Time to Talk podcast. God bless America. Peace.